Inquiry is not the same thing as seeking. This is a common misconception that if we're inquiring, if we're doing inquiry into our true nature, into the nature of self, into who I am right now, or what I perceive to be myself, that equates to seeking. That by performing the act of inquiry or participating in the act of inquiry, you're reinforcing that there's a self there in doing the inquiry. Now, this is reinforced by certain modes of teaching about non-duality. But let me just state it in a simple way. The underlying truth is there is no individual, discrete, separate, volitional self doing anything. Seeking is an activity of the mind. It's an activity of thought. Thoughts put reality together in such a way that there's a future, and there are certain conditions that are preferred in the future, and there's something here, an agent, something that can rearrange reality in the present as it moves into the future so that it's satisfied. Now, this is all illusory. This is just the work of the mind. It's just the display of thoughts. None of that's actually happening. And you could say the realization of no self, even the realization of non-duality, is to see clearly and experience thoroughly, ongoing, that there's nothing that those thoughts refer to. There's no one that those thoughts refer to. There's no seeker and there's no seeking, nor could they ever be. So inquiry has nothing to do with that. Inquiry is a natural curiosity that arises for no one, to no one. But the question, who am I? Who am I taking myself to be? Where am I? Is a valuable and powerful question. If you think that that refers back to a self or solidifies a self, it just demonstrates your belief in self, in a discrete, separate entity. When you have realized that there is no self there, there's nothing to whom any of that refers, then inquiry feels quite different. It's just a natural process. It's an unfolding that dissolves perceptual filters that make there appear to be things like separation, volition, discreteness, solidity, continuity. So don't worry about the thoughts that come, the doubt thoughts, even if someone has said this to you when you're doing inquiry, that, well, if I'm doing inquiry, I must be re-solidifying or reaffirming some kind of self. Those thoughts themselves are what selfing is, those worries and doubts. Don't worry about the worries and doubts. Just see them as what they are, thoughts. Return to the question, what am I? Who is perceiving this thought? Who or what feels like it's here, aware, now? Can you find it precisely? Can you find that edge where asking the question leads right to the edge of the unknown? And stop there. Can you stand nose to nose with the unknown, the unknowable? And just see what happens. Don't anticipate. Don't convince yourself you know what's going to happen or that you understand. Just stop. Just stand nose to nose with the unknown, the unborn. Don't entertain thoughts. Don't entertain doubts. Don't worry about whether there's a self or not a self, or a seeker or not a seeker. That's all thought. All of it is thought. Just stand right there, gazing into the void, and let nature take its course.